The United States added 156,000 new jobs in December of 2016. This topped 2 million jobs created by the Obama administration during 2016. It also was month number 75 of consecutive job growth in the US. That is 6.25 consecutive years of job growth. The unemployment rate ticking up slightly from 4.6% to 4.7%. This is very close to what we consider full employment. And on that note, I want to dig into that a little bit. Sometimes people wonder, well, why is 4.7% full employment? Don't we want zero? If 1 out of 20 people are considered formally unemployed, isn't that bad? Imagine if the unemployment rate were zero, even if it were just the U3, never mind the U6. And if you don't know what the difference is between the two, I'll get to that in a second. How do businesses expand? And how do you have net job growth when there's no unemployed people? When there aren't unemployed people, all hiring depends on people leaving one job to go to another. That's not job growth, that's job switching. And there's also no labor pool to draw from. And very interestingly, the unemployment rate for college graduates is 2.5%. It really doesn't get more full employment than that. And it's interesting to ask people what they think the college graduate unemployment rate is. They think it's very, very high. And when you say, well, listen, the total unemployment rate is under 5%, people often don't realize that among college graduates, the unemployment rate is effectively non-existent. And I know people will say, well, some of those people aren't in good jobs. Yeah, I understand that. And that's a problem. And we want to address job quality. One other thing, Pat, is, and I know you want to jump in here, wages, average hourly earnings up 2.9%. That's the fastest growth rate dating all the way back to June of 2009.
Well, just in terms of the college unemployment rate, I think the way that question is worded makes people think of people who are just out of college. And we see so much about students just getting out. They have so much debt and they can't find a job. I think it's more about terminology there.
Yeah, there could be confusion there. So at this point, I have to do some normal explanations to preempt conspiracy theories we often hear from the right. One of those conspiracy theories is, David, these numbers are meaningless because when you stop looking for work, you're no longer considered unemployed. That is true. With the U3 rate, which is the way it's been measured for decades, when you stop looking for work, either because you're a discouraged worker or because you're retiring or choosing to be a stay-at-home parent, you no longer are part of the U3. That's nothing new. That's nothing that's new under the Obama administration. If you look at the U6, that includes discouraged workers, people working part-time who want to be full-time. That has dropped in parallel with the U3. Again, this is nothing new. There's no Obama-era conspiracy theory there. And by the way, the U6 is no more real as an unemployment rate than the U3. They just measure different things. You can't say, look at the U6 under Obama, but I was happy using the U3 under George W. Bush. Last thing, you will hear the conspiracy theory, there's 100 million people unemployed or 90 million or whatever, because if you look at the labor force participation rate, it is so low. Folks, that includes retired people, and we have baby boomer retirement growing and growing. The labor force conspiracy theories are considering college students who are just full-time students as part of the unemployment problem. If you're a high school junior or senior who's just going to high school and not working, you're part of that, one of those people who isn't part of the labor force. It includes people who are stay-at-home parents by choice. It includes people working part-time by choice. It is such a bogus conspiracy theory, but yet every time you see it in the YouTube comments.
Yeah, and pretty much all of these indicators, it looks like the economy is doing quite well and has been during the duration of most of Barack Obama's presidency.
Yeah.
So with all the facts on figures on our side, it's interesting to see people like Newt Gingrich say, well, the American public doesn't feel like the economy is doing so well.
Right. All of a sudden, the party that says we care about facts, not feelings, cares about feelings. What we're going to do on January 20th, we will put up for you the Bush numbers, the Obama numbers, and we will start the stopwatch on Donald Trump. We're going to look at jobs created. We're going to look at the unemployment rate, wages, stock market, labor force participation, to the extent that the right wing claims to care about it. Might be something they only care about when it's a Democrat in the White House. We'll look at GDP growth and the import-export ratio, and we'll measure who does what and what happens. Bottom line, in total, the economy has added over 11 million jobs during President Obama's presidency. Trump claims to be the guy for jobs, right? Let's see how he does, starting in just about 11 days. Warby Parker is offering a free 5-day home try-on to give you the opportunity to check out their glasses. I personally wear Warby Parker glasses when I'm not wearing my contact lenses, and I also started with one of these free at-home try-ons of 5 pairs of glasses. You can get your free home try-on and support the David Pakman Show at warbyparkertrial.com/TDPS. I don't really like going into glasses stores and trying on glasses while the salesperson sort of hovers over me, and I like more than 30 seconds to actually figure out whether I like the glasses. So with the Warby Parker home try-on, I was able to pick 5 pairs that I liked, put them on in the comfort of my own home, pick the one I like the most, and then Warby Parker put my prescription lenses in there for me. A lot of people don't know that the eyeglass industry is controlled by just a few big corporations that keep prices very high, like $300 for prescription glasses high, which is just insane. Warby Parker glasses start at $95. That's what mine cost. And for every pair of glasses sold, Warby Parker distributes a pair of glasses to someone in need. You can try 5 pairs and see what you like. Check out the at-home trial and support our show by going to warbyparker.com/TDPS. It costs nothing.